Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. I got a great video planned out for you guys today. Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the concept that I hear people say, you're never going to get rich off of precious metals because all it really does is basically protects your purchasing power. You're never going to make any money. You're never going to go anywhere with it. And I believe that's an incorrect statement, and I'm going to prove that to you guys today. So, yes, I will say at a bare minimum, for the most part, it will protect your purchasing power. But with what's going on right now, I think it's going to do a whole lot more than protect your purchasing power. And I'm going to explain why you actually can profit from this. So if you enjoy today's videos, I hope you enjoy it. Please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you agree, disagree, I love to hear them. And with that being said, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. With that being said, let's get started. So right off the bat, what is manipulation? For those of you guys that don't know, in order to get into this topic, because everybody knows at a bare minimum that precious metals are a way to protect your purchasing power. The question here is, can you get rich with it? Can it do you better than just protecting your purchasing power as opposed to having dollars? So the first thing you need to know is, what is manipulation? Manipulation is an act of controlling or influencing something, often in an underhanded way. It can be used to gain power or advantage. So, manipulation. Obviously, manipulation is what a lot of them do to purchase precious metals, to beat the system, to make money. And essentially it cheats the stackers, and it cheats really everyday people, because they're able to buy it for cheaper, and they're able to drive the price up when they want, beat it down when they want, and they do that with shorts. And anybody that thinks that manipulation doesn't exist, I believe that's not even a question anymore, or at least it shouldn't be. There have been enough cases out there where multiple big banks, with JP Morgan being the biggest one, has been fined huge amounts of money to, in some cases, settle and not plead guilty. And in some cases, they have been found guilty, where they tried to argue it out, and essentially they were just found guilty. So right off the bat, JP Morgan to pay $920 million for manipulating precious metals. They were manipulating it for a reason. They're not manipulating it just for fun. They're manipulating it to give them the upper hand. And so once you understand that, that has been proven by law that that's what they've been doing. Are precious metals heavily manipulated? I would say we know for a fact that it is, because of all the lawsuits that have came out. Now, the big question that you have to understand, though, is, once you understand that manipulation is happening, I'm going to slide that off the table for a quick second, and now I'm going to focus on what the video is meant to be focused on. So, pretend for a minute that you are in a valley. You're building a house in the valley. But the problem is, this valley, part of the year, it gets like 2 feet of water in it. And so, you're like, I don't really want to build my house 2 feet off the ground, and I just want to build it. I want to build my house, and I don't want the water coming in. Well, you know what? Let's build a dam. Let's manipulate the water to essentially have a dam, and then it won't come in the valley. We'll block it out. Okay, so the first year goes by, and no water comes in the valley that year. Well, that's great. You succeeded to manipulate the water flow to where it doesn't come in the valley. But there's a big dam there, and there's a lot of water built up. When that dam eventually breaks, and the dam is basically the manipulation that's happening right now. But when that dam eventually breaks, do you think you're going to have 3 feet of water, a foot of water, or do you think it's going to fully flood out the valley? It is going to take out the valley totally. And you're not going to have that foot or 3 feet or whatever, 2 feet of water that you would have originally had. It's going to basically magnify it to be a lot worse than it would have been. Now, jumping into precious metals. Now, with the manipulation that's happening right now in precious metals, they are able to control the price. I mean, think about it. We saw it go up to what, $33.50 the other day, and then we just saw it get beat down in like a half hour. How do you have such a big hit in such a short time? That is not likely that is a bunch of people that all just decided, hey, let's all sell some silver today. It's not companies that are all of a sudden dumping huge amounts of silver. What that is short contracts. And that's how a lot of places manipulate. Big banks like JP Morgan manipulate. They basically put large amounts of contracts out, and those contracts that are paper silver will beat the price down lower. And then as it beats it down, they're able to sweep in and buy it at a cheaper price. And then you have that beat down, and then you instantly see it pop back up in some cases. Or in some cases, they beat it down heavily only so they can clear out their short position, pay it off, settle it out, and then after that, hey, we ain't got to worry about it for another month or 2 months or whatever. But what I want you to understand now, if you're buying precious metals at a manipulated price, what is going to happen when the manipulation breaks? So let's say for a minute that a silver quarter buys you a gallon of gas. Now, theoretically, if a silver quarter bought you a gallon of gas 50 years ago and a silver quarter buys you a gallon of gas today, that would be protecting your purchasing power. You're still going to have the same amount of essentially money to buy the same amount of items that you could have bought then and you can buy today. And that works to a certain point. However, if it's manipulated down, that means that you can actually buy more silver today at a cheaper price. And then when the price does skyrocket, and it will eventually skyrocket. Now, skyrocket is a term that gets thrown out quite a bit. What does skyrocket mean, really? Skyrocket is going to be a different opinion for each person. My opinion of skyrocketing, if I see silver go to $100, that's a pretty good skyrocket. I would call that awesome. That's a 3x move on my investment in a short amount of time. Even if it takes a year, 2 years, it doesn't matter. A 3x move is a good investment in my opinion. I'm not trying to get rich quick overnight. I can't stress that enough to people. Gold and silver is not Bitcoin. It's not cryptocurrencies. It's not casino slot machines. It is a slow and steady road that will eventually pop. And when it pops, it's going to be violent for a lot of people, especially if you're shorting the market. Those of us that are buying silver, hey, we'll be glad when it pops. Why? Because the price that the money we put in will all of a sudden be worth even more money. And when that dam breaks, that manipulation, you're going to see the price of precious metals go up a whole lot higher than fair market value. Because right now, if they weren't intervening with manipulation, then precious metals would be slowly working its way up, and it would be fighting inflation. It's kind of funny because some of these naysayers, I love it when I get naysayers' comments, because when you really sit down and talk with a naysayer, they'll never leave multiple comments. They leave one comment, you put a rebuttal on it, and then you never hear from them again because their arguments doesn't make sense. If they're going to tell you that, oh, well, it's a horrible investment. Look at it. It was $50 in 1980, or it was $50 in 2008. Now it's 32. Oh, some hedge against inflation. They're cherry picking time frames where things were really bad. Things were horrible. 2008 banking crisis. Things were really bad. Yes, that's why silver skyrocketed. People were scared, and they wanted to put a lot of money into it. And they really didn't care that the investment of silver had skyrocketed 10x on their money. 10x. If I saw silver go up 10x tomorrow or in the next month, I would probably be cashing some of my silver in for another investment. Why? Because you could expect that there would probably be some sort of a major pullback coming. Now, Does that mean automatically? I mean, obviously, if certain events were to happen that really changed the game, like the dollar just fully collapsed and was worthless, the U.S. was going into major wars around the world just to defend ourselves, and nobody out there wanted to send us stuff around the world for paper money anymore. Well, obviously, I probably wouldn't want to dump my silver for a 10x move, because I know it's probably going to go a whole lot higher. But if it's not the end of the world, then you got to understand that, high profits, when you have a big rush of something goes up so high in price. I'll give you a big scenario, Bitcoin. I know a lot of people are not big fans of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has done really well in the last year. Let's take a look. I mean, in 1 year, Bitcoin has doubled in price. That is pretty good. I don't know if can't really get a 5-year because that's a little inaccurate. I was trying to pull, because technically it was a little bit more of a year ago. But when you have something go up astronomically all at once, you have to wonder, is it worth taking some profits? I hear some people say I would never sell my silver for any amount of money, no matter what. Silver, in my opinion, it is money. It is the money. But unfortunately, society does not use silver and gold as money. They use dollars as money, fiat currency. So I look at silver as money in terms of holding it, gold as money in terms of holding it. But if I need something, then what do? When you need something, you take your money and you go and buy it. Now, in this case, there's a middle step. I have to convert it to cash and then take that cash and go buy something. But where I'm going with this that I want people to understand is when they manipulate the price lower, it's going to magnify the effects when it eventually breaks. If silver was just trading at its regular price, I mean, more than likely we would be around $50, $60 silver right now. But I'm convinced that they are beating the price down. They have been proven for doing it. They're acquiring lots of it. At these prices, you're seeing it flood out of the LBMA. You're seeing more and more highs every day on precious metals. Well, why? Because more and more people are willing to pay the premiums. They're willing to pay a lot more than $32.84. In fact, when you think about the premiums, I mean, most places are charging $2, $3 premiums on stuff. $4 premiums in some cases, depending on what it is. And I won't even get into some of the higher numbers because I've seen a lot higher. If people are willing to pay that, then that is technically the price. Now, yes, the spot price, some people call it the paper price. Some people don't like to use paper price and physical price because they think it's unfair. Silver is $32.86. I can't find anybody selling it for that price. Therefore, I don't call that the price. I will not call the price of silver a paper price that I have no ability to buy it at. Now, is there going to be someone out there that might be, trying to sell some ounces for $32, $33? Of course there's going to be. Someone that bought them and needs money for whatever event happened. But there's not like there's one site that I can just go to and buy stuff at spot price. Most people don't do that. I haven't found one. If you guys do, leave it in the comments. So the price that people are paying, that's the price. And when the manipulation breaks, you're going to see that price skyrocket. And it's going to be a whole lot more than, a silver quarter is going to buy me a gallon of gas. And I really get a little edgy using that term right now because I can tell you I just gassed up today, $2.49 a gallon. Think about that, $2.49 a gallon. I can't get a silver quarter for $2.49. So basically a silver quarter now is buying me 2 gallons of gas. I mean, it's more like a silver dime for a gallon of gas now. And, that's not even counting when the masses that have been brainwashed to not invest in silver. to think it's a bad investment start realizing, maybe silver is a good investment. Maybe gold is a good investment. What is going to happen when their dollars start falling in value more than what they're accustomed to? Then all of a sudden they're going to start waking up and they're going to flood their money into precious metals. And if they've ever heard you talk about precious metals, because a lot of us like to tell our friends, we like to tell our family why it's a good investment, why they should get some. All of a sudden, these people are going to call you up. I remember when silver first shot up to $29. I had a friend of mine call me up and he's like, why is it going up so much? And I said, well, look what just happened. I mean, we had it down to what, $11 they were claiming during the whole cough. I had another friend call me up during that period and say, hey, I decided I want to buy some precious metals. I want to get some. I see the spot price is $11. I think it's a buy right now. Where can I call? You know these things. Good luck. I said, I don't know anybody selling it. What do you mean? You buy all the time, don't you? I said, no one's going to sell you their silver for $11. It's manipulated down, and everybody knows it. Anybody that's been into it. The newcomers, they realize it, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem fair. No kidding. The system isn't fair. It's made to cheat you. It's made to keep you away from silver and gold. It's made to keep you using the casino chips, the fiat currency. But eventually it's going to break down. And when it does, it's going to be like that dam that breaks. That 1 foot of water that should have been in the valley that they built a whole dam to stop it. When that dam breaks, it's not going to be 1 foot of water in your house and, oh, well, I'm just going to cut 2 feet of sheetrock up and then redo it and that will be it. No, it's going to take the whole house out. And it's going to take all the big banks out that are shorting silver. And then they'll have some sort of a banking crisis, and they'll want government to come in and help them out. And who knows if they will. Some say they won't because of the Dodd-Frank Act. And some people say, they'll just make people's deposits. That will be what bails out the bank. Now, that you're getting into a whole new video on that stuff, and I've done videos on that before. But what it's important to understand is it's not just wealth preservation, dollar for dollar. I can put $10,000 that I need for my retirement. Let's say I know I'm going to need $10,000 when I retire. I put $10,000 in now. When I retire, whatever it is I need, it's still going to be worth $10,000. That's not a guarantee because it could be worth a whole lot more. It's a pretty good guarantee that it will be there, that the investment will at least be worth the $10,000. But chances are the price of what I want to buy at $10,000 today, when that day comes, it could be $30,000. It could have tripled in price. But you know what? That $10,000 silver might have quadrupled in price. And once you understand all that, you understand it's not just wealth preservation. It's also profit potential, a chance for you to actually move up a peg. And what we talk about in some other videos is that's going to be happening possibly at a time when everybody else's investments are coming down. Stock market might be crashing, cryptocurrencies could be crashing, employment could be crashing, unemployment could be skyrocketing, people are out of work, so they're going to be selling off their toys and stuff at a good deal, and all of a sudden you're getting even more for your money. And then your silver's worth even more, or your gold's worth even more than it should be because they've been manipulating it down. I believe they have a plan in place with precious metals. Once they've acquired a certain amount, they're going to spring the trap and sweep in, and they're going to have everything. And then they're just going to let the price go. And it's going to take off, and it's going to be mind-blowing. Now, am I telling you that like it's going to happen tomorrow and it's a dire thing? I'm not trying to fearmonger anybody. Honestly, if you're putting away a little bit of your money every week or every month into precious metals, I actually had talked with someone today, and the individual picked up another 4 ounces. And they're like, hey, can you just sell me 4 ounces that you've bought and, you'll just replace it next time? Of course I can. And, that's good because that means they're putting away a little bit each time. And this person is pretty good about always asking me if they see me. They get a little nervous buying at pawn shops or at, online. And I actually, she had told me that she ended up getting a call from like a couple of companies that we have bought through before. And I said, they get good deals, but they don't always have the best deals. There's a lot of deals out there. You've got to look around. And I keep up on it. So with that being said, I hope you guys took something from this video. I will see you guys again tomorrow with another great video. And I hope everybody's having a great week. It is Wednesday morning. Hopefully we're going to see some excitement with precious metals. It's doing a great job, already climbing up. Hopefully we're not going to see it instantly get beat down. Usually Wednesday seems to be the higher day lately for precious metals. And then as Friday comes around, we always see it kind of get kicked down a little bit because they don't want people going into the weekend with cheap precious metals for some reason. So we'll see how it plays out. I thank everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.